Hey, what's going on, people? Your boy man Mike here, sitting next to LT and a guest that I'm just gonna give him his kudos right now, because there's not a lot of people that have the guts to even come on to even have a debate with any of us for whatever reason. As we tried tonight, as you guys saw on Kicking with K Styles, Cooler Talks, nobody even took debate. All right, nobody wanted to come on. A lot of people were doing a lot of Twitter typing in the comments and doing their thing, but nobody actually had the balls to even come on. All right, so uh, look, man, LT, what is it that you guys y'all got some beef, right? Y'all got some beef. Y'all wanna go to blows, don't you?
I mean, something slight, nothing too major. But I want my buddy down there to introduce himself to the world, man. Well, let everybody know who he is, man.
What's going on, everybody? It's Stunner, you know.
That's
Uh,
the number one stunner. Wow.
I'm a big Falcons fan, even though it don't always seem like it. I love the hometown team, man. You know, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, we got some things to discuss about the state of the team and the direction they going and things of that nature.
All
So
right,
what
so
is
let
it?
me, let me we gonna tap right on into
I was
this.
about to
We
say
gonna
that.
go.
I was about to say what was the issue? Because I got to hear this.
You go ahead, and go first.
I want you to go. You the guest here, bro. I want you to explain your gripe. A lot of these folks, they know me. They know where I stand. So we want to hear what you got to say.
All right, so boom, basically, as far as the Falcons go and how I view it, I view myself as a realist.
Mm,
I'm not one of the I'm not in the Matt Ryan fan club per se, but it's not because I think he sucks or because he's white and I want a black quarterback. It ain't got nothing to do with that. I just don't personally see the point in paying a quarterback $46 million at 36 years old if you're not winning. I personally I can't see I don't see the logic in that. Matt Ryan can have a good game or a bad game, but I don't see the point in our team being bad and still paying the quarterback 40 plus $1 million and being on the tail end of his career. And I hope we can all agree that he's not in his prime anymore. Like he's not what he was in 2012 or 2016 when we went to the Super Bowl. And that's what I think a lot of fans get misconstrued. I think a lot of fans think that we still have a chance to go to the Super Bowl, but I don't believe that we do. I don't believe we're that good of a team. I don't believe our roster is built to make those advances. So when you have a flawed roster and an aging quarterback, I think that's the best time to go ahead and rebuild the team. But when Terry Fontenot and Arthur Smith say we're not rebuilding, but you can't beat a team over 500 and all your wins come against cellar dwellers, then there's a disconnect with me there. So a lot of the Falcons fan base. See, and then also, I'm not part of the people who want us to just tank for a higher pick either. I don't care what pick we get. I just want us to start the rebuilding process. I think if we make the playoffs, that's gonna make them think that next year we can build on that, but we don't have any cap room for next year. We don't have any space for next year. So that's like that's like bringing the same team back again next year and doing the same thing over again. And that's the definition of insanity to keep on doing the same thing and expecting different results. So
I like this
that's
guy
how I look
already.
at it.
He using one of my quotes. He using one of my quotes. All right, so let me say this, and I can understand your premise on what you feel and how you feel about the state of the team. What I will say is, now don't get me wrong, I don't think Matt is in his prime either. I think he may be a tad bit out of it, but what I will say is we can still win with Matt. If you watch the Denver Broncos team win a Super Bowl with a woeful Peyton Manning, you can win with Matt. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand people feel like his contract is outrageous or egregious or whatever, but his contract only counts for a small percentage of the cap. Like the thing is, we can't really blame Matt for we can't blame Matt for the type of money that he got. When his contract came about, the man had just recently won MVP, Offensive Player of the Year. He's a 5-time Pro Bowler. Like, and then you got to look at the accolades, got to go with that. That man getting paid for his smarts and everything he's done for this franchise. It also doesn't help when you look at a guy like Matt. You say, okay, we shouldn't be paying him so much, so on and so forth. But when you look at the market and you seeing a guy like Kirk Cousins who has done absolutely nothing in his career, making who's bringing in every year like $28 to $30 million a season, you can't expect Matt to take a pay cut because Kurt ain't done nowhere near what Matt has done in this league. And you telling me I'm gonna be getting paid in the same realm as him? Now, for saying let's not get the money back, this is where I'm glad that you came on the show because one thing about Twitter, you only got so many characters to type up, and a lot of us got 9 to 5s. We ain't got time to be typing all day. But I will say this: we have $27 million in dead cap currently. I'm sorry, $22 million in dead cap currently. Two of the people that's in our dead cap realm haven't suited up for the Falcons since 2019. Now, you have to look at it where our previous regime, what they did wrong was giving out bad contracts, especially Thomas Dimitroff. We seen the players that he brought in that were just atrocious. You brought in a Paul Soliak. You brought in Tyson Jackson. You signed Ray Edwards. Those are bad contracts that this man signed, and he did not help the team cause at all. Now, he had the vision. He has admitted to this. We've seen on interviews this man admitted to this. He had aspirations of building this fantastic astronomical offense where we could just put up in astronomical numbers and we're going to score 40 and 50 points a game, so on and so forth. But the problem about that is you cannot put up the points if you do not have the protection or the run game. Your offensive line is lacking. We watched many years where he tried to patchwork the line. I'm pretty sure. Let me ask you, how old are you, man?
I'm 22.
You 22. So, okay, let me say this. So, it's been plenty of years that we watched this man literally patchwork that O-line. We talking about having, Wills Vitek as your starter, Sam Baker who stayed injured, Lamar Holmes, Peter Collins, so on the foot. When you got those type of guys as your offensive lineman and you just patchwork against, you think, well, I got the quarterback, I got Julio, I got, I signed a elderly Steven Jackson, I got, Ryder White, who might be on the twilight of his career, but he's still productive. You cannot put up those type of numbers when your offensive line, the most important part of your offense, which is your line, when them guys can't get no push in the run game and can't protect your QB, you're not gonna put up numbers. And I said we've seen countless games. And don't get me wrong, people think that a lot of folks that love Matt, we don't have him. We look past a lot of stuff that he do, all his wrongdoings. We don't. We criticize Matt, whether people want to believe it or not. We do criticize him, but when you do an overall assessment, it's hard to critique him when you see the other major flaws in the offense and whatnot. Plus, we've seen many games where Matt went out there and gave us everything he had just for us to walk out of the building with a loss. You cannot have a game where this man throw 5 touchdowns for over 350 yards with a 77 completion percentage and you lose the football game 43 to 37. That doesn't help.
Let me ask you a question. This is actually a question for both of you guys. And now we can all agree that, right, should we start making, efforts to kind of build towards the future? Absolutely. All right. So one of the issues right now currently that we are struggling with is cap. So and this is one of the reasons why not only myself but LT and a number of people on the AFN feel like sports is that we're not against building for the future. But one of the issues right now that the Falcons are dealing with is that they're having to shop pretty much not even look. We're not even shopping at the dollar store right now. Like, bro, we digging out the trash can. Like, we really digging out the trash, trying to find someone that we can, pick up for about what $100,000. Like Anthony Rush. Like, no disrespect to him, but like, who the hell was who picked him up? He was just a big fat dude in free agent. Like, nobody knew who Anthony Rush is. Nobody knew who he was. So it's not so much that we don't want to build for the future. It's the things that we talk about with Thomas Dimitrov, the bad contracts, the bad decision to cut guys like True Fun, knowing that his cap hit is going to be, $10 million. I think it was somewhere like $8 million to $10 million that we end up like having, and I forget the numbers, but it was about $8 to $10 million because we cut
He
him.
getting paid $5 million right now.
He getting paid $5 million, and he's not even a Falcon. And the year before, it was like $8 to $10 million that we were paying him just to go away. So the reason why we are so adamant on not rebuilding right now, not so much that we don't want to pick up a quarterback to, potentially groom him for that position, but what good is it going to be to have a guy like Justin Fields, to have a guy like Trey Lance, if they're getting a behind whipped? I'm sure you saw it, Stunner. I'm sure you saw Thursday night game. What were your thoughts on that when you saw Matt Ryan get? You think that Justin Fields would have got out of that alive, or it would have been exactly the same?
No, but see the logic behind drafting a Justin Fields or any quarterback that you want to draft, I think the logic behind that would be in 2 years the offensive line would be better because you're not gonna fix that in one offseason. You're not gonna fix like when Matt Ryan. By the time Matt Ryan is gone, like that's what people don't want to believe. This team is not gonna be good while Matt Ryan is here. I don't know. I don't know if y'all like. I don't know how much y'all really believe that, but I truly believe like over the next 2-3 years, I don't think this team is capable of being good because of how cash strapped that they are. So we might be able to catch a worse schedule in the league and get in the wild card and then lose by 21 points in the wild card game. But what is that doing for us though? Like honestly, what is that? And I saw your video earlier, LT, when you was like, it'll bring if a team that's not supposed to make the playoffs makes the playoffs, it'll attract more free agents. They gonna come here and play for what, free? Because even if they attract it, we still not gonna have no money. That's why I think they should just go ahead and tear it down before Arthur Smith gets the he can't win label, or before anything like that happens. That's just how I look at it though.
So let me say this. If we was to get rid of Matt right now, do you know how much money we'll owe in the cap?
I don't want us to get rid of Matt right now.
Even if you got rid of Matt in the next couple of years, you still know how much money we gonna owe in the cap.
I think 2024 is the first year we will make a profit from it. Or no, 2024 is when his contract is up.
But I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, I want this to get engraved in your mind real quick. I want you to save this date, November 29th, 2021. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now, so don't be surprised when it happens. Matt gonna get an extension.
From who?
I'm going to tell you that now.
From who?
From us.
If Matt Ryan get an extension from the Falcons, I'll go get my tattoo of the Falcons took off my skin.
Well,
I'm gonna hold you to that. I'm gonna hold you to that.
I was gonna get his tattoo.
I'm gonna hold you to that. I want you to remember now. This is a live show. This is on Facebook and this is on YouTube. I will clearly come back to this part.
I'm lying. I'm not gonna do that. It's gonna hurt. At the same time.
Oh man!
I just want like all the Falcons fans that's like listening and go watch this to understand like, whereas people who quote unquote don't cheer for them to win come from. It's like it's not that we don't. It's not that we don't want the Falcons to win. It's just like it's no point. If that makes sense, I know that's hard to say as a fan. It's hard to say as a fan, like the team that you cheer for making the playoffs doesn't make sense. That don't even sound right.
Let me ask you something, dog. Because you said there's no point, but winning Super Bowls don't happen overnight, bro.
I know that.
The great Nelly said, "I am number one. 2 is not a winner. 3 nobody remembers. It's on the one champion, bro. It's on the one champion." So when you look at the end of the year, if you're not the team hosting that Lombardi, there are 31 other losers. You got to start from somewhere. You can't expect for us to tank, or whatever the case may be. And then once you feel like we got enough team and the right people in mix to become a champion, then bam, that's the year they're gonna win the Super Bowl. It don't work that way.
Oh, of course not.
Freddie Freeman had played for the Braves for 11 years before this year. 11 years before he even got the opportunity to even get to a World Series. All right. And that's the thing is that I understand your need. Like, trust me, I want you to hear this. I understand your need and for you to want change. Like, nobody wants to continue to see the Falcons lose the exact same way and not want some sort of change. But what we're trying to paint the picture is that change comes when your ultimate idea or ultimate goal is to win a championship. You gotta do it the right way. And for years, we've done things the complete opposite way. We've gave contracts to guys who didn't deserve it. Robert Alford, I can keep on going on and on and on. Guys like Sam
Bad
Baker,
drafting.
We gave a lot of money to Sam Baker, and he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? We gave a lot of money to people that end up getting hurt, or we end up giving people money that did not deserve it. So what we're trying to do now is start over the right way. We're trying to start over the right way. You don't want to start building a foundation on something on rickety ground. Like, you don't want to start building the foundation when we already $22 million in the cap in the hole for next year. The cap is a $182 million. It's expected to go up, but you don't want to start giving yourself. You end up getting rid of Matt Ryan. All right, let's just say we trade Matt Ryan. All right, let's just say even with a first round pick. Let's say we trade Matt Ryan. The salary cap is $182 million. All right, we're already $22 million in the hole. So what that leaves you with? About 160, right?
Yeah.
That leaves you with 160. That's just one player. You got Grady, you got Dion, and the same things happen for them. You end up getting rid of Dion. That's a salary cap dump. That's a dead cap hit. You get rid of Grady Jarrett. That's another. So that's at least $30-40 million off of the $182 million that we have at, with the salary cap. So it's not a matter of we don't want it to change. We're just not in a position to change. That's the thing.
So I have a question for both. I have a question for both of y'all.
Go ahead.
Would y'all rather bite the bullet and go through that hell, or stay mediocre?
Okay, here's the thing about that, because you saying bite the bullet, go through that hell. You literally watched the Browns do this for pretty much the last decade, and it did nothing for them. Like, they killed. Like, if Falcon fans say they tired of losing, if you take the Cleveland Brown route, you're gonna be looking at losing for another 10 years.
But you have to. But you, like, all right. So I don't want to sound crazy when I say this. I don't want y'all to look at me like I'm retarded when I say this, but I feel like there's a perception amongst Falcons fans that Matt Ryan is some winner. He's not that. We have to stop talking about Matt Ryan like he's some winner just because he's brought our franchise success we've never seen. Matt Ryan is not some crazy winner quarterback. We missed the playoffs more times in his career than we've made it.
Okay, so hold
on. Let me make one more point. Then I'll let y'all go. You made a point earlier about Thomas Dimitrov, saying how he wanted to build the offense to where it could just outscore people. You can't look at that as a positive when it comes to Matt Ryan's stats and accolades, and look at it as a downfall for the team. You can't say, Matt Ryan put up Hall of Fame numbers and then say we don't have a defense when all our resources went into the people who helped him put up the Hall of Fame numbers, if that makes sense.
But to be honest, it really didn't. I mean, yeah, you might have had Julio Jones on, and he had Tony Gonzalez early in his career and Roddy White, but like you can't say he necessarily had all the help in the world, because when you look past those three names, like who was really truly elite talent?
Calvin Ridley was all pro. Calvin Ridley is a second team all pro.
I know he's second team all pro.
Michael Turner was a star his first few years here.
Yeah, he was first team all pro his first year.
Devontae Freeman was a damn good running back his first couple of years here. Tevin Coleman was a damn good run. We've put talent around Matt Ryan on that offensive side of the ball. We've had enough talent on the offensive side of the ball to win a Super Bowl. I would say that.
I mean, but then your defense can't stop nobody. So what we talking about?
Because the offense that was built to keep scoring stopped scoring.
But your defense get paid too.
But your offense gets paid to keep scoring. But your
defense get paid to stop somebody.
Let me ask you this:
if you don't put enough resources into that defense, then your talent level is not where it needs to be, because you put all the resources into the offensive side of the ball. That's what all your talent was. That's what the Falcons have been built around since Matt Ryan has got here. We've been built as an offensive team. I don't know why we always had defensive head coaches with all this offensive talent that we had, but that's another story for another day. You can't put all I'm saying is you cannot put all your resources into your offense and then blame the defense for why you're not winning. So
let me ask you this, because you said we got to pretend that Matt Ryan isn't a winner. What makes him not a winner?
What has he won?
I mean,
he's missed the.
You tell me what has he won?
Stop, LT. Let me go down this list, okay? I just want to go down this list of wins of all-time quarterbacks, okay? This is just all-time quarterbacks. All these quarterbacks have had, whether it's better defenses or better offenses, like they've had one of the two. So, all right, I'm just going to go down this list. You say he's not a winner, all right? Tom Brady obviously is the greatest winner of all time with 238. Brett Favre 186, Peyton Manning 186, Drew Brees 172, Ben Roethlisberger 161, John Elway 148, Dan Marino 147, Aaron Rodgers 135, Phillip Rivers 134, Fran Tarkenton 124, Johnny Unitas 118, and guess who's behind? Who's tied with Fran Tarkenton? With Johnny Unitas.
I wouldn't consider Phillip Rivers a winner.
So
I wouldn't consider Phillip Rivers that guy. Phillip Rivers is another quarterback who all his whole career, all their resources was put into their offense for the most part, and he couldn't get it done.
So would you say he's a Hall of Famer?
Not first ballot. I wouldn't say Matt Ryan is a first ballot Hall of Famer either, though. He's gonna get in one day because of his statistics, but I don't think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, no.
So let me ask you this: what accolades does Phillip Rivers have?
You tell me. He's a Pro Bowler.
That's all you got. He's a Pro Bowler. So what accolades does Matt Ryan have?
Matt Ryan has won an MVP and made an All-Pro team, and he's a Pro Bowler.
And that's something that even Drew Brees has not done.
He hasn't. But would you take? You're not taking prime Matt Ryan over prime Drew Brees, though.
Of course I would.
Without hesitation. Yes, you would. Yes, I would.
No, you won't. No, the hell you won't. Come on, let's be real. Let's just tell the truth. Let's take sports bias, because I like to take my bias out of things when I'm talking about sports. You're not taking Matt Ryan over Drew Brees in the prime of their career. You're not doing that.
I'm taking prime Matt Ryan because he has a bigger arm than Drew Brees. He's always had a bigger arm than Drew Brees. Like that's not me speaking.
I know. I already know what you were to say. He can't throw the deep ball. That's false. Because everybody look at him throwing the ball to Julio where they didn't have timing. That's because of practice. Like if you literally see Matt throw the deep ball to anybody else that he's played QB with, and they came to practice, he can hit them in stride consistently. It
I
was
don't
on
think he hits
Julio he
Calvin.
couldn't hit.
I don't think he hit Calvin Ridley in stride consistently, but that's just me. I done see him miss that ball to Calvin Ridley a lot, but that's just me.
I mean, everybody ain't gonna be perfect. Like I only said that because of that, because I already knew what the mindset was. The problem I have with that type of situation is people nitpick. I hate when people try to like when they debate, they want to nitpick certain stuff. Like prime example, I remember seeing somebody tweet when he threw the deep ball to Cordero Patterson for the touchdown against Washington. They nitpicked because it was like Cordero Patterson had to stop. I'm just saying, like, but he's wide open. So why does he have to throw him on the run or risk him like overthrowing it or him running out of bounds or something else like that, or him possibly looking back at the football and running to the pole and getting hurt? Like, why would I do that? If I know I could just lob it up there when he could just concentrate, catch it, and walk in the end zone, why would I risk this man an injury? That's kind of crazy to me.
But see,
But
would
what I'm saying about this is, at the end of the day, I don't see you can't name no QB that has won without their defense stepping up at some point. Yeah, you could like. I mean, I don't care what comes and goes.
Let's say this for example. Tom Brady is. I think we all can agree that Tom Brady is perhaps the greatest winner the NFL has ever seen. Right?
100%.
I got to say this live.
So when you look at his defenses, Tom Brady out of he's been in the league for 20 years, but he's played 19 years. 19 out of his 16 out of his 19 years in the NFL, he's had top 10 defenses. Matt Ryan he's had maybe 1, 2 if I'm not mistaken.
But I don't consider Tom Brady to be the best quarterback ever though. So
But he's the overall consistent,
yeah,
right? You know,
he's considered the GOAT. So when you compare the GOAT and what he has at his disposal, not only won like 16 top 10 defenses, he's had the greatest head coach of all time. And like right now, he's proven again that he's the greatest coach of all time because he got those guys with a new quarterback and his defense looked just as good. So my thing is like, okay, let's just say we rebuild. Okay, how are you going to fix this defense? That's the question I have for you. What are we going to do with the defense? Who do we bring in, and what's the best course of action to fix the team? Because this is a rebuild, and this is something that I've never gotten the answer for.
All right, so me personally, I think if the Falcons were to rebuild, I think it's gonna take like 3 or 4 years, regardless. That's why I don't believe we're gonna win the Super Bowl with Matt Ryan in the first place. I think it's gonna take at least 3 or 4 years to rebuild this team, because you have to I don't know what the weird energy is with the Falcons, but you have to cleanse this roster from top to bottom because it's just a weird team. Like even in the games they've won this year, they've blown like 3 or 4 leads this year. Like this is just a weird team. Even though they won those games, like to the who was it? Was it the Dolphins? I don't know. I was at work. A couple of when we blew those leads and Matt Ryan took us on the game-winning field goal drives or whatever. Like I don't know. This team just doesn't know how to. They don't really know how to win games for real. If that makes sense. So
you say clean the roster. You say clean the roster. You that mean you willing to give up Grady Jarrett and Deion Jones as well?
Yes. I love Grady Jarrett. I love Grady Jarrett. I'm not as big of a Deion Jones fan as I used to be, but Grady Jarrett is probably my favorite player on the team outside of AJ. I would be willing to.
You got to look at it. AJ Terrell came with the previous regime too. So if you talking about cleansing the roster, you willing to let him walk as well?
Oh no, you can't let him walk because he's a pillar. He's young enough to be a pillar for the next He's young enough to be a pillar for the
So
next
the
generation of the
cornerstone,
team.
so the cornerstone of your franchise is gonna be your cornerback.
He's gonna be one of my building blocks. Yes, he would be. Yes,
So you're
because
gonna build
I
on
believe
Terrell.
he.
Okay.
Me and AJ graduated high school the same year, so he like 22, 23 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's young enough to grow with the team in a rebuild. I don't think Grady Jarrett is young enough to grow with the team in a rebuild because he's going to be 30 years old in a year or two.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time we get all the way to where we need to be, he's going to be past his prime too, just like Matt Ryan is now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you, I see what you mentioned, guys being close to 30. Let me go ahead and tell you, because I am 30, and 30 ain't old. Because yeah, you might be 22 now. You might be 22 now, but boy, you blink again, you will be my age. You will be looking like dog the music by fast.
30 ain't old, but when you playing football in them trenches, you know them bones start to feel
LeBron still
different
dunking on niggas from half court, bro. What you say? He 36.
LeBron one of one. LeBron one of one. You can't. He might be the greatest conditioned athlete ever. Like we can't even compare.
So I mean, Calais Campbell, like in his mid-30s, and he's still
Hall of
formidable.
Famer. Hall of Famer.
Matt Ryan has missed 2 games with his whole.
they
So
already.
but your logic was that if you get close to your 30s, you just said that you know that your body is gonna break down in the trenches. So if I'm telling you Calais Campbell's in his mid-30s, then that means he shouldn't be playing good no more right now.
Baltimore didn't build a defense around Calais Campbell, though. That's what I'm saying.
He's a big part of it. That's why they traded to get him.
But he was a piece that they brought in. That like everybody's not gonna be Calais Campbell. Everybody's not gonna be London Fletcher when he was like 38. Everybody ain't gonna be that.
I mean, but you gotta look at, if you be honest, like Grady is literally the second best DT in the league behind Aaron Donald.
I don't think he's the second best.
Who's better?
I mean, it might not. Who's better?
Do you call
Fletcher,
what y'all call Jeffrey Simmons in
Tennessee? Fletcher, but that's about it. I don't think there's a better D tackle.
Jeffrey Simmons in Tennessee, is he considered a defensive tackle or defensive end? Because they run a 3-4.
Jeffrey Simmons better than Grady.
Yes, he's been better this year. Grady has had a good last couple games, but Jeffrey Simmons has had a better year this year.
I mean,
I think he might lead the league in sacks and pressures for interior defensive linemen.
Ooh, you already messing up.
let me repeat. You got to repeat that. You telling me Jeffrey Simmons is better than Grady Jarrett, right?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
I thought you had something for that.
I have no further questions. Look, man, it's all opinion. Like at the end of the day, bro, my thing is like, look, there's nothing wrong with wanting your team to look the way that you want them to look. There's nothing wrong with that. You're not wrong for that whatsoever. My thing is that it's not our way. They don't give a damn about what Mike thinks. They don't give a damn about what LT thinks, and they don't give a damn about what you think. At the end of the day, they're gonna do what's right for the team, and this is
100%.
what we're talking about. These are the reasons why, and we're trying to, really just help you guys. Not look, y'all gonna be pissed off regardless, and I'm just trying to save you the headache and just say right now, okay, a lot of these guys are going to be here because a millionaire is not gonna wanna. Like he's not gonna look. This man don't put $1 billion into this stadium. Do you really think he's looking at that team and saying, "Let's rebuild. Let's get rid of all of them. We're gonna start over and we're gonna start, losing." Because if you start tanking, you think people gonna go to those games?
They already don't go to the games. What you mean start losing? We've been losing.
Well, I mean, so let me say this though. Let me ask you this, because several things I want to ask, but this is the first question I want to ask. What are your thoughts on Kansas City and their rise to stardom? Like, how did you feel about that?
They built the team up and then got the quarterback later. Like if that's the route they felt was best for them, cool. But they didn't have a 36-year-old quarterback making $46 million though. Alex Smith wasn't making that kind of money when he was in Kansas City, and they drafted Patrick Mahomes. So when they was building the team up, they didn't have to build a team around a quarterback making 20% of their money. So it's a different type of situation than what the Falcons in.
I mean, yeah, I get that, but at the end of the day, like
you wrong with that. You wrong with that because Alex Smith was actually making at the time about around $20 million. At that time, it was about 20 to 30% of the salary cap. So
yeah, because they reset it. They reset it again. Like a few years after he got his contract. So
hold on. $20 million was 20% of the salary cap
at that time
in like 2015.
About 20.
Yeah, it couldn't have been. Not in 2015.
Was lower then.
But it wasn't that low. It couldn't have been that low.
Yeah, it definitely was.
that would mean the salary cap was only $100 million.
Even right now, Matt Ryan was making about 20 to 25% of the salary cap. Even at
I was listening
$40 million.
I don't know if y'all like I ain't trying to get no free plug on y'all platform or nothing.
No, you good.
No, plug, man. Plug.
I was listening to Aaron Freeman's podcast. I was listening to Aaron Freeman's podcast, and he was saying he was like, he said Matt Ryan was the only quarterback making that percentage of the salary cap on a losing team or something like that.
Well,
so I don't know how y'all feel about that.
Basically, what he mean by that is that Matt Ryan was making that much money. I mean, that's that in itself. Those are when you put out stuff like that. That's basically like you doing. It's basically when you say that he's on losing team that pretty much diminishes certain teams. Like there's only so many teams in the league and quarterbacks, elite quarterbacks in the league. You got Drew Brees, you got Tom Brady. Those guys are for the most part are making $35 to $40 million. So it's only a certain group of players anyway. So that's a small group. But even those teams, they might be winning, they might be losing. It's like Matt Ryan a loser. Like I don't. At the end of it, I don't understand exactly what he's trying to say there, because like I said, it's only one winner at the end of the year. There's only one winner. All right, there's only one winner. If you're not winning Super Bowl,
we can say that, but there's contenders. There's contenders though. Like you can contend. Like every year, there's a number of contenders that have a chance to win. That have a chance to do something special that year.
Hold on. You just shot me down yesterday for about more victories. You literally shot me down yesterday about more victories.
That wasn't me. I ain't saying nothing about more victories. I ain't bring
that wasn't you. Okay, that might have been you. That might have been you. But I'm about to say, because you said they could be contenders, but I'm looking like, hold on now, because somebody just shot me down about more victories. You can't talk about contenders if they ain't actual champion. That don't make sense. That's being hypocrite.
You gotta play the game to be the champion though. Like we all knew coming into the season that the Falcons weren't gonna be contenders. Like we all Falcons fans, but we knew what it was. They the first year coach, first year GM with severe holes in the roster.
So why people are why is the fan base so upset?
Because Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot came in here and said this is a win now team. They lied. That is a lie. That's not the truth.
Well, we 5-6. We 5-6 in the playoff hunt.
What does win now mean to you? No, it's not.
They in the playoff hunt. They are literally they sitting in the 8th spot in the NFC. That right there is win now. They didn't lie. What is your definition of win now? That's what I want to understand. What is your
win now means we have a chance to win the Super Bowl this year. The Falcons don't have a chance to do that. That's what win now means. They're literally
in the playoff hunt. What do you think being in the playoff means?
When the Falcons are going to win the Super Bowl. The Falcons are going to win the Super Bowl this year.
I didn't say that was going to win. We didn't say that it was. We didn't say they won the Super Bowl. We just said if we said win now, we are winning. We got more wins this year than we had last year. We are literally
have an easier schedule this year than we had last year.
Hold on,
I'm
hold
never
on, hold
saying
on,
this
hold on,
team is
hold
gonna.
on,
They're not a
see,
Super
see,
Bowl
hold
see,
team.
see,
on,
this is what this is what the disconnect. But this is
hold
what the
on.
disconnect comes in at right here. This is exactly what the disconnect comes in.
Mm-hmm.
This team is not. This team is not good. Like I don't. Maybe we
You
watching
said
two different teams.
Let me ask you this. I got a question for you. Okay, when you look at this roster, no one would say with a straight face this is a playoff team. Okay, right?
Right.
Take Matt Ryan away from this team. What do you get?
They're gonna suck. They suck. They suck with him.
don't
This
be
team
They
5-6
5 and 6.
in the
They 5
playoff
and
hunt.
6.
List me the teams they beat.
This is you the teams they beat:
List for me the teams that they've beaten this year.
the Giants, the
What?
Jets, the Dolphins,
Uh-huh.
the Saints,
Uh-huh.
and
Right.
the
Jaguars.
Jaguars.
How many good
Jaguars
teams
just
did you
beat
just
the
name?
playoff contender.
How many?
Jaguars just
No, I
literally
don't. I
beat
don't
the
care what they did against nobody else. How many good teams did you just name?
I mean, the Saints they were like their Saints had a winning record when we beat them.
Are we gonna be objective here? Or are we gonna do that?
I literally just said when we beat the Saints, they had a winning record. Now it done been 2 weeks since we played them, but yeah, they had a winning record. Well, 3 weeks to be honest, because we don't play 3 games since we last played the Saints. We
All
played
right,
against the Cowboys, the Patriots, and now the Jaguars.
we beaten one team with a good. We've been one team that was above 500 when we played them.
I mean, but okay.
But see, the thing is, you can project what the Falcons are gonna do when they play against good teams. When you've seen them play against good teams already and not be able to score points.
I mean, well, that's kind of false because we literally had Tampa on the ropes.
Tampa was kicking our ass.
Though they wouldn't. That's a false narrative. They was not.
The
Literally,
Falcons didn't come back late in that game.
Huh?
The Falcons didn't have to come back late in that game.
We literally cut it to a 3-point game, and the D
Well, how much time
and
left?
we're like, I think we had like a quarter and a half to go.
No way in hell. That's not how I remember that game going.
You don't? We
No.
literally lost the game. We lost the game 25 to 48.
We literally lost the game on the last 2 possessions of the game.
Where he like Todd Bowles scrapped his game plan and just sent an all out blitz against our line. You played against their you basically said I'm gonna use my dominant defense to prey on their weak and inexperienced
Matter
offense.
of fact, you're right. I forgot about that. I just remember at some point it was a blowout in that game.
Yeah, towards the end, but that's because they got 2 pick sixes out of nowhere. And the ball got tipped at the line of scrimmage when the boys was blitzing.
All right, so do y'all think the Falcons are a good team? Yes or no?
No.
No, I don't think.
What I would tell you is,
I got a series of questions. I got a series of questions real quick. All right, so y'all don't think the Falcons are a good team?
No.
If you were the GM of the team, would you be in quote unquote win now mode?
Yes.
Yeah, because I know quarterbacks don't grow on trees, and there's no guarantee that I'm gonna get another quarterback or at the a lower caliber, like even an above average quarterback. There's no guarantee that you're going to get a quarterback like that ever again. Like literally, Cleveland has been searching 40, 50 years for a quarterback, and they just now got an above average quarterback in Baker Mayfield.
The Dolphins been searching for a QB since Dan Marino retired. And they thought they found one in 2, and now they talking about get rid of him.
I have an issue with this Matt Ryan discourse. Like I just don't.
What's the issue? Because first of all, I want to go back to the part you said that he wasn't a winner, which is like I said, that's very much false. Because explain how he's not. The man literally just told you he's 100. He has 117 wins all time.
He's tied 12 all time.
The Falcons have missed the playoffs more times than they've made it in his career.
The Falcons had their first back-to-back winning season with Matt Ryan Okay, and they won 5 years in a row. They had, I think it was like 5 years in a row, where they had a winning record, and that was the first time that ever
But the
happened.
Falcons have missed the playoffs in his career more times than they've made it. How can you justify being a winner when I can say a fact like
13,
that?
14,
I mean,
15.
what my thing is, what do you mean by a winner? That's not a franchise in the history in football that has always been winning. I mean, Pittsburgh has been struggling for quite some time.
But you
They've
can't say that
been
the Steelers. You can't say that the Steelers have missed the playoffs more times in Ben Roethlisberger's career than they made it. You can't say that about Tom Brady. You know, you
because
can't
they've
say that
had
about
great
Peyton
defense.
Manning. It's certain. But see, you can't give him the win stat, and then when I bring up him missing the playoffs, you put that on the defense.
mean,
That's not the way that works.
you're trying to take
But you
away
ain't bringing
his
up defense for the other teams?
Yeah, you're
We
trying
talking
to
about
take
strictly
away.
quarterback play. Y'all just saying he.
That's not how it
like,
works.
We can't bring up the team. You don't want to talk about quarterback play, though.
No, when he brought up the who got the most wins in NFL history, that was viewed as a quarterback stat. But that was viewed as a quarterback stat, though.
I mean, if it's a quarterback stat, then he is a winner because he's 12th all time.
But he's missed the playoffs more times than he's made it.
He missed the playoffs one season. He missed the playoffs one less season than not. He missed the playoffs 7 years, and he made the playoffs 6 years. Now let me say this: in the second year that the year that we didn't make it in 2009, you do know we took back-to-back losses where Matt didn't even suit up. We lost to Philadelphia and we lost to New Orleans in back-to-back weeks. Matt did not play in those games because he missed the game for a turf toe.
He had a foot injury. I remember.
Yeah. So, but that was the first year that the Falcons finished the season with back-to-back winning records in franchise history. The very next year after that, we went 13-3. The year after that, made the playoffs. The year after that, we went 10-6 and made the playoffs. The year after that, we went 13-3 again and made the playoffs. Now after the last 2 years of the Mike Smith era, we went 4-12 and 6-10. Crazy part about it is we could have made the playoffs in the 2014 season with a losing record if Mike Smith would have coached the team up enough to beat the Carolina Panthers at home. So, like I said, it's the nitpick, dog. That's the issue that I'll be having. It's the nitpick. Like, yes, I understand folks like to look at the QB, but you cannot watch the game of football and just strictly put wins and losses on quarterbacks, because I'm here to tell you, anytime I see us win, I gave props to every phase of the game, every person that really stood out in those games. When I watched Cordero Patterson run for 27 yards Sunday, guess what I gave credit to? Tajay Sharp for that block. Because if Tajay Sharp don't block that dude, Cordero Patterson don't spring for that long run. It's small, intricate details. It ain't just the quarterback fault. You cannot have, and I don't care what comes and goes, you cannot have your QB go out there and play flawless and lose a game and say it's his fault. Yeah, you might say, well, we put the effort on offense for them to go out there and put up all the points. But then why are we paying people to play defense?
I mean,
Don't they? If that's the point, the only thing you need to be doing is don't pay the defense nothing at all. Let them come out with an empty defense and put all your money on the offense, so you can have a Matt Ryan, a Odell, a doggone Julio, a Alex Mack, a Jeff Saturday, Orlando Pace, or Andrew Nelson, Quentin Nelson, what the running back here, a Derrick Henry. Have you a star-studded offense so you can be able to score in every position. But your defense get paid to stop somebody. You got to come up with something on defense. There's no way you should be able to go out there and your offense put up 39 points, but your defense gave up 40.
You talking about the Cowboys game last year?
Yes.
Didn't the Falcons come back late in that game?
No. We was wide the whole game.
That was Seattle game.
We had the lead the whole time.
It was the Seattle game last year that we came back late in.
The Seattle game last year.
It was one of those games last year where we lost a high scoring game last year, and we came back, but we didn't finish the comeback. I can't remember which game.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you, dog. Most of the games that we lost last year, we had the lead and lost it.
We had.
No, I'm saying it was I'm saying it was one game that we were losing the game until like the fourth quarter. We might have been losing by like 2 touchdowns or 3 possessions. It was one of them, and we ended up coming back and losing by like 2 or 4. It was a game like that. I can't remember if it was Seattle or somebody like that. I think it was Seattle game. So I was mistaken on the Dallas. It was the Seattle game, I think. But you can't.
Nah.
I just don't understand how you can look at a team, put all their resources into we know they put all their resources into the offense. And Thomas Dimitroff told us that.
He said it, but he really lied still. Because like I said, when you look at a lot of the guys on that.
But you can say that's bad team building. But when we put all those resources into the offense, you can't tell me that, Matt Ryan did this, but the defense couldn't stop him. They don't they didn't pay the defense. They paid the defense to be able to keep us in the game. All the blown, football isn't make it, take it. When you blow a lead, your offense gets the ball back and they can still score the ball.
I mean, it's hard for them to score the ball with less than 30 seconds when your defense gave up the lead late. Like literally gave up the lead with probably like less than a minute left on the clock.
So the Falcons can be up. So the Falcons are up 40. So say the Falcons are up 40-30, right? This is just an example. Say the Falcons are up 40-30. The opposite team go down the field and score. Falcons get the ball back, which we've seen happen a lot of times. They had the ball for like 45 seconds and punt the ball back to the defense. Punt the ball back to the other team. The offense don't deserve no blame for that.
I mean, they could get blamed for that, but let me ask you this: what did you think about the play caller from our offensive coordinators?
It's all like you talking about in that situation. It's bad. Like
if the play calling is bad, what you expect from your offense? You're gonna get bad results, correct?
But you can still execute though. You can execute a bad play call. I've seen them do it a lot of times this year.
What?
I've seen Arthur Smith hasn't been a great play caller this year. I hope y'all don't think that. Arthur Smith ain't been that much better than Dirk Cutter this year. Y'all might not like it. He hasn't been. I'm sorry. It is what it is.
It's
he has not been.
I mean, when you missing Calvin Ridley,
him out.
I mean, you don't have.
You said, who bailing who out? Hold on, who bailing who out? Who's bailing who out?
I said, Dirk Cutter didn't have Cordell Patterson and Kyle Pitts bailing him out. He didn't have those weapons.
I mean, Matt Ryan don't have Julio or
Arthur
Calvin.
Smith wasn't using Calvin Ridley correctly when he was playing.
I mean, he wasn't catching the ball either. So what's the point? He wasn't catching the ball when he had the opportunity. So is that really?
I mean, again, that's wildly hilarious because you say he didn't. You say Cutter ain't had a Kyle Pitts and a Cordell Patterson building him up, but the man had Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley for half a season. For half a season, you had Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Austin Hooper, and you still went doing shit.
No, I'm not trying to say that Dirk Cutter was a good play caller. Don't get it mistaken. That's not what I'm saying.
You just saying he's
Arthur Smith
Smith
hasn't been that much better than him.
I mean, how can you say that? He doesn't have Julio or Calvin. He don't have either of those guys.
He knew he wasn't going to have Julio going into the season, though.
He doesn't have either of those.
No. When he took the job here, he didn't know Julio wasn't going to be here.
I'm saying, but he had enough time to
anybody's call. Julio wasn't returning anybody's call.
He had enough time before the season started to adjust his offense to not have enough.
I mean, he knew that. I mean, no, he don't, because you still got to worry about the salary cap. I mean, just because whether Julio's going to be there anyway, the salary cap is going to be a problem regardless.
See, you misconstruing what I'm saying. I'm not saying we could have got somebody to replace what Julio can do. What I'm saying is he knew that weapon wasn't going to be here. So he had ample time to figure out other stuff to do as far as play calling wise.
Yeah,
when
he
Calvin
did.
Ridley was here, he wasn't. When Calvin Ridley was here, he wasn't using Calvin Ridley to the best of his abilities.
I mean,
Calvin Ridley was averaging 9
Calvin
yards per catch.
Calvin really got to catch the ball. I mean, you got to catch the ball. That ain't on the play
You
call.
gotta catch exactly. How many times you don't? How many times you watch Calvin Ridley drop clear passes, like literally hit him in his hands and he dropped.
He was dropping them. He was dropping them last year. He been having drop problems since Alabama. He's always had that problem. I don't want to hear it used as an excuse now.
What you mean on here as an excuse now?
He's not
he had drop problems his whole life. He had drop problems at Bama. He had drop problems with Dirk Cutter. But Dirk Cutter was still able to find a way to get him 1,500 yards.
You mean Calvin really?
1,300. How many he had? He had like 1,300 yards last year, right?
They had 1,300 yards. But that's bad. Hold on. That's still bad in a sense because the man had 90-something receptions, but had like 140 plus, then 150 targets. That is horrific, my guy. That is horrific.
So you shouldn't throw the ball to your best receiver?
No, we're not saying you. No. We're not saying you don't throw the ball to your best receiver. But what I'm saying is you bringing up him having 1,300 yards last year, but the man and you talking about he had drops since way back when. Okay, cool. But you brought up earlier that he was a second team All-Pro. But like when you bring up him having drops, the man had 93 receptions last year for 1,300 yards, but he had over 146 targets. That means he has had a good portion of drops. In that meantime, if you give Julio when he practiced and shit and gave him 140 something targets, I can guarantee Julio bringing in anywhere 115 and 120.
No, he's not. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
So Julio never had over 100 reception, 100 receiving on reception season.
Julio had 170 something targets in 2015 and caught like 100 and almost 130, 140, something like that.
I thought so.
In 2017, Julio had 148 targets and 88
2015, his first year with Kyle Shanahan, he had about 100 and something targets.
Well, what year you just said?
2015, the first year on.
No, I'm talking about him. I'm talking what year you just said? What year was that?
I said in 2017. 2017.
With Sarkisian, really?
In 2016, first year? He had 129. In 2016, he had 129 targets and 83 receptions.
So I'm glad you brought that up. So if that's the case, but he have all them yards, that means he's an impact player. That means when he catches the ball, he makes an impact. That means when really catches the ball, he's not making much of an impact.
Say that one more time.
I said when Julio catches the ball, he's making impact.
Right.
But when really catches the ball, he's not making much of an impact.
How you not making an impact when you got 1,300 yards on 90-something catches?
I mean, but he probably had a good portion of drops too.
Julio will have a good portion of drops too. We can go all day. Wide receivers gonna drop the ball sometimes unless you Larry Fitzgerald and Michael Thomas.
I mean, I don't get me wrong. I've seen Julio drop easy passes, but like when you look at Ridley, like we've seen Ridley literally like alligator arm a catch because he don't want to get hit.
I've seen it. Dropping the ball is dropping the ball. I don't care how you drop it. Dropping the ball is dropping the ball.
You don't care how you drop it, but I mean, if Julio dropping the pass, and him like just dropping it, I could understand that. You can miss that. Literally, you see Ridley alligator on a pass because he don't want to take the leap. That's no. You do not. You can't get a pass for that. For being scary. You playing the wrong sport, my guy.
It's still gonna be second and 10 or third and 10. You got to go on to the next down. A drop is a drop, regardless of how it comes.
So at the end of the day, it's like your belief.
But my whole point was the play calling hasn't been as good. I mean, it hasn't been like as good as it was supposed to be, or like as it was hyped up to be in the offseason.
I mean, what it was hyped up to be.
Falcons fans told me Arthur Smith was
a the ball.
Matter of fact, Falcons fans told me that the team wasn't going to be bad. We just need a better coach.
Hold up, Mike. Hold up, Mike. Let him speak. Let him speak, Mike. Let him speak. What'd you say?
Said all offseason, Falcons fans told me how he was an offensive guru and how he was going to turn Mike Davis into the next Derrick Henry. You might think I'm lying now, but this is what people told me. People told me he was going to turn Mike Davis into Derrick Henry.
You listen to those people?
You listen to them?
I don't. These are the people who stand on y'all side of Twitter, though.
Now, I can guarantee that Matt Carey, Aaron Freeman, and all those guys who we actually work with never said that. They've never said that.
I'm talking about the people who, if you tweet me right now, and the people who will come behind you and be in the replies, these are those.
I can promise you, I've done shows with every last one of those guys. They've never said.
I'm not talking about the journalists. I'm not talking about I'm talking
about the actual Twitter followers.
I'm talking about the actual Twitter followers.
I feel you, and look, I'm telling you right now, stop listening to those people. Listen to Matt Carey, listen to Aaron Freeman, listen to the Falcoholic, because those people are going to get you where we are right now, down the wrong path.
Me and Matt Carey, we got beef.
Wow,
man! On my last 3 pages. He blocked me on my last 3 pages, man.
What do you do?
Hold on, who blocked you?
Matt Carey.
Oh man, what do you do to that man?
I'm not a.
Oh my goodness.
He said something to me, and because I'm not a pro. I'm not a Matt Ryan that's the greatest quarterback ever type of guy. So he said something to me, and I said something.
You gotta make sense. You gotta make sense at the end of the day, bro. Y'all look. At the end of the day, you're entitled to how you feel. It's not a matter of, or you are a pro Matt Ryan guy. I'm not a pro Tom Brady, but I never disrespect his greatness. He's a great quarterback. Okay, he's a great quarterback. Drew Brees is a great quarterback. But when we talk about Matt Ryan, everybody want to say, "Oh, he's not a winner." It doesn't matter what you think. The facts and the stats are what the truth is, and so you can't go to Twitter and put out stuff that isn't factual. And that's where Falcons Twitter is at odds. People want to put out facts. They want to put out opinions based off things that they think. What you think ain't right. Okay? What you think about a player isn't right. I cannot stand LeBron James, okay? Everybody know I hate LeBron James. But I would never
you play for my team
bro, look, I can't stand the dude, but I never disrespect him and say he's not a Hall of Famer. That's disrespectful and say he's not a winner. He got 4 championships because he's a winner. And this is the issue that we have with a lot of Falcons fans. You want to say he's not a winner,
but listen to what you got to listen to what you just did though.
Look, that's completely different. LeBron has had superstars. Matt Ryan doesn't.
Listen to me. Y'all can't keep comparing Matt Ryan to these top 5 quarterbacks ever because he's not. He's not done
more. He's done more. These guys have done with less.
No, he's done more with less.
With less than who?
You mean
less than every last one of you? Tom Brady has had 16 top 10 defenses in his entire career.
How many
several defensive Hall of Famers.
How many All-Pro wide receivers has Tom Brady played with?
At least
Matt Ryan has played with 3 All-Pro receivers. How many has Tom Brady played?
I mean, you ain't never heard of a guy named Randy Moss. You ain't never heard of a guy named Wes Welker. Wes Welker is a hell of a slot receiver. He's been one of the greatest slot receivers of all time.
Was he an All-Pro?
Yes.
Was he a what?
Wes Welker?
Gronkowski is probably one of the greatest tight ends of all time.
Right.
Curtis Martin, Corey Dillon,
Troy Brown.
We're not going to put Troy Brown in a conversation with Julio Jones, Roddy White.
I mean,
is a borderline.
I mean, he ain't okay. But you can't sit here and just discredit that man though. That's what you're not about to do.
What I'm saying is, Matt Ryan has been able to do what he's do because he's had talented offensive players around him.
That's every quarterback.
Okay.
Every quarterback.
So what you telling me is Peyton Manning was only good because he had Reggie Williams, Marvin Harrison, Dallas Clark.
I didn't say that's the only reason Matt Ryan was good, but you just can't sit up and say, you cannot sit up and say that Matt Ryan don't have this, don't have that, and then not acknowledge what he does have. Or what
We never said nothing about the offense. We kept saying the defense.
But when you spend all your money on your offense, what do you expect from the defense? And the year we went to the Super Bowl, the year we went to the Super Bowl, the defense played 11 great quarters of football. That's never discussed.
So
the defense played 11 great quarters of football. Why is that never discussed?
Hold on. Talking about the Super Bowl?
We went to Super Bowl. Yeah.
So you count the division round in the you count the division round in the NFC Championship game too?
Yes.
Okay. So in the divisional round, we literally was down at first, and then we matched the TD. They took the lead again, and when we got the lead back, especially after that safety that we got from them, it was balls to the wall then, which Matt was pretty much flawless that whole way. Like don't get me wrong, like I understand what you're saying about the defense was doing well, but like we were flawless. You can't sit and give the defense all the credit when you literally watch Matt be flawless that whole run.
No. See, that you twisted my words. I'm not saying the defense deserves all the credit. I'm just saying they played 11 good quarters of football. As a team, we played 11 of the best quarters of football that you could play in the playoffs. But when it was time for the offense, the high paid offense to be the high paid offense at the end of the Super Bowl, we couldn't score no more.
That's Shanahan's fault.
No, it's not.
God damn it!
I hate when people blame to Kyle Shanahan for that. Kyle Shanahan didn't make Jake Matthews hold.
Why he didn't run the football?
Didn't make Jake Matthews hold.
Why he didn't run the football 3 times and kick the field goal?
Because holding is more likely on the run play than the pass play. Holding is more likely on the run play than the pass play. At least that's what the numbers say.
So when Matt threw the pass to Julio and he caught it on the sideline, right? We ran the ball 1 time on that drive. Right. Why not run it again? We lost a yard, but why not run it again?
That whole season, what were we doing?
You said what?
That whole season, what were we doing?
We had a balanced offense.
We were putting our foot on people's necks. We were putting
it bit us in the ass earlier that year.
But we were on a roll at that point.
You said what?
We were on a roll at that point.
It still bit us in the ass earlier that year.
But it didn't bite us in the ass later in the year when we was on the roll. Like it's discussions like this we can have back and forth all day because we should have, like, if we win that Super Bowl, nothing else matters. We're not having this discussion right now if we win that Super Bowl. I'm not calling Matt Ryan a loser if we win that Super Bowl. That goes back to my whole point about the team need to be cleansed. Everybody who was a part of the roster on that day needs to be gone. So
you pretty much been hating the Falcons since that damn 2023 debacle.
No, I don't hate the Falcons.
Yeah, yes you do. Yes you do.
No, I don't.
Yes you do. You do.
I just don't believe the Falcons. I just don't believe the Falcons are a good team.
We literally just sat here and told you that we weren't a good team.
Okay, so how does that lead to me hating the Falcons because I don't believe they're good? And you're just like anybody else that y'all don't want to support the team. Like your whole gripe this whole time has been we need to get rid of Matt Ryan. No, it's not.
But see, in order for you to cover yourself to make you not seem so hateful, you went as far as saying get rid of the roster from top to bottom. That's what you did. Again, we don't have to start over. We are literally in the playoff hunt. We are literally in the playoff hunt right now with just coaching alone. Because we won 4 games last year, well, most of the games we had the lead and we blew it.
We're in the playoff hunt because we played 4 bad teams.
That's at the end of the day, look, bro. Look,
they are professionals, dog.
You play who's on your schedule.
I don't.
But we're in the playoff team because we played 4 teams who are worse than us. That's why.
But
we
played 4 they are professionals, dog.
They suck.
Hold on. At the end of the day, look, and we're gonna keep going around in circles. At the end of the day, I don't think you and a lot of people are not going to be satisfied until Matt Ryan is gone. Let's just keep it 100. Keep it a buck.
That's all it is.
Because even if
that's all it is,
it's not going to be enough. We're winning. It's not enough for you. You want change. Let's just keep it 100, bro.
I ain't got no problem saying that, but it's not. Stop. Y'all have to stop making it about Matt Ryan this and Matt Ryan that. It's not about
saying
Matt
we
Ryan.
need to rebuild,
bro. You just said we to get rid of him.
You said we got to get rid of him in order for us to be a better team.
I said you don't rebuild a team with a 36-year-old quarterback. That's just common sense.
You don't.
We're not rebuilding. We're not rebuilding.
We need to.
Why do you feel like we need to?
Why is this again?
Because the team is not good.
They're literally in the playoff hunt. Are they where we were?
Y'all two just told me that this team is not good.
Look, we know that.
Just said that.
We know that.
So what do we? I'm
gonna support.
I mean, we got the Rams.
I'm gonna support my team through thick and thin. Win, lose, or draw. But I'm glad I'm breaking this up because you're looking at the Rams right now, who got this quote unquote super team. Oh, when they traded, they got Von Miller and they signed OBJ. Oh my God, the floodgates open up for the Rams, and they done lost 3 games straight since they've been there.
What an all-star team. So what are we really talking about? The Falcons don't have
so clearly having that talent, having talent on your team don't mean nothing. Because as a matter of fact, yeah, we got our ass handed us by the Dallas Cowboys, but what did they did the last 2 games? Took losses with all that talent.
3 losses in a row.
I don't see the point that y'all making.
You don't see the point we making, then you don't want to see the point. Because
you don't want to see the point, bro.
Then you don't want to see the point. Because we made your point.
I do want to see the point because I like to see both sides of an argument. I like to see both sides of the debate. I want y'all to make sense. Like what? You can't tell me that the Falcons.
You said, okay, look, let me break it down. Okay, let me break it down. You literally said the Falcons don't have a good roster, which they don't. Yet they are winning. Doesn't matter how they won. Doesn't matter who they beat. They won. Even with the big-time super roster in the Rams, they got a super roster. They got Von Miller, Aaron Donald. I think the Georgia kid, who name's Floyd. I think they got Leonard Floyd, if I'm not mistaken.
Leonard Floyd, Jalen
Ramsey. Like they got an all-star squad on both sides of the ball. They got Matt Stafford. They got all those receivers. They losing.
Cooper Cook, OBJ now.
With our roster, we winning. They losing with the all-star roster. So is it really a matter?
Let's bring it even closer to home because, like I said, we fighting for a playoff spot. Now we have 5 wins on the season. They got 7 wins on the season. So when it looked like we were all fighting for the 6th and 7th seed, holy shit, we are literally all 3 wild card spots is wide open right now. All 3 wild card spots is open.
Do y'all expect the Falcons to make one of those wild cards?
Say what?
Mm-hmm.
I said, do y'all expect the Falcons to make one of those wild card spots?
I'm gonna tell you though. I've said all year I had no expectations for the team.
I really can't.
If they make the playoffs, cool. If they don't, still cool.
Now that you see that they can, but look though. Now that you see what you've seen so far, about what 70% through the season, 75%. Next week is what week 12. Next week is week 12. That'll be 75%, right?
Some up in there, yeah.
somewhere around there. So seeing what you've seen, do you expect us to get one of those wild card spots?
I mean, it's way more issues to this team besides that because one of the biggest problems that we've been having out of Matt the last couple of weeks. When people like to say, "Well, Matt ain't been performing well," well, I ask folks, why isn't he performing well? He just ain't performing well. Well, do you not know that your receivers can't get open? They can't create separation. Literally, the commentators have said this the last 3 weeks. In Dallas, they said it. Against the Patriots, they said it. Literally, Troy Aikman was red as hell in that booth the way the damn Falcons offense looked due to our receiver core can't get open. He was pissed.
It's not a very good team, yet we still winning.
With everything we done dealt with Julio turning his back on us and Ridley pretty much turning his back on us. Well,
y'all gotta stop saying that, man.
Listen, I understand. People, listen, I'm gonna say this. We understand about mental health issues. A lot of us, a lot of us don't have mental health issues.
I ain't talking about Ridley. I'm talking about Julio. Y'all gotta stop with that. Come on now.
He didn't turn his back on the team.
What did he do?
No.
What did he do?
The boy got on national television and told us he was out of there. Literally, nobody knew that he was.
What do you call that?
That man moved.
What do you call that?
He moved on. He didn't want to play here no more. That's okay. Ain't no problem with that.
That's okay for you to take somebody's money and say, I'm gone?
You literally just got a new contract extension and you dip? That's cool.
He didn't want to play here no more.
You got a new contract extension and you dip? So that's cool.
So we blame Julio for getting paid, but we're not gonna blame Matt Ryan for getting paid. I don't understand that.
Did Matt Ryan call? Did Matt Ryan call out? Did Matt Ryan say he want to be traded?
That's his choice, though. You can't blame somebody for that choice.
So you took this man money, you took the owner money and dipped out. That's cool. Then he gave you, and you as a fan should be pissed off. You as a fan should be pissed off that bullshit letter that he gave you.
Julio done gave me enough memories for a lifetime. I can't be mad at Julio. I can't do it. I can't bring myself to be mad at Julio.
So you can't bring yourself for a man that quit on your team. Okay, this your team, right?
Yeah.
You're a Falcon fan, correct?
100%. I cannot be mad at Julio.
So So you want to be mad at Matt Ryan for not winning?
I'm not mad at Matt Ryan for getting paid. That's what you do when you're a professional athlete. You get paid. I'm not mad at them for that. If you decide you want to play somewhere else where you think you got a better chance of winning that, that's your prerogative.
That's lying and stealing. No matter how you try to butter it up, you lied to get that contract, and you left and you dipped.
Shout out to Eddie Guerrero.
But when you got a legally binding contract, you can't just dip and leave. They traded him.
That's what he did, though. They could have kept him there. The Falcons could have kept him there.
Why?
So what's your point? But let me tell you, the Falcons do not like in-house issues get outside. Hence why you think you seen Tat got cut so quick when he started pulling the bullshit last year. And then this year, we had like I said, nobody knew anything about Julio. Like I said, Arthur Blank did everything he could to make that man happy. The man got a contract extension well before it was time for him to get the extension. And then when Shannon Sharp called you on TV, you get on the phone, he said, you want out of Atlanta? Oh, I'm out of there. You out of there? Bob just gave you extra money. What you mean you out of there?
What if I gave it? Look, you came into my house, you asked me, can you borrow $200? I give it back to you in 2 weeks. And then I call you in 2 weeks and I can't answer the phone. What do you call that?
That's two different scenarios.
That is two different scenarios. He never answered the phone for this man. He gave this man $60 million and he never answered the phone. And the next time you heard from Julio Jones, oh, what the hell? The next time you heard from Julio Jones, he on national TV saying, I'm out of here. He never picked up the phone.
Something not true here. Because the Falcons reporters were saying that he requested a trade before the draft.
Man, they put all about the
That's not what he
requested. Hey, my bad. Hey, I just had a question though. But if Julio wanted out, why accept the extension?
Well, that case stuff.
Your job as a professional athlete is to get paid first. I don't know what y'all. I wouldn't
it's
accept
his job to get paid for it. You sure about that? Because I think it's you don't get paid if you don't step on the field.
Julio
you don't get paid if you don't step on the field, dog.
But did Julio not produce did Julio not earn that contract?
No, he didn't earn that.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying the question is if you want it out, why accept the extension and just take your chance at free agency? That's what they're trying to say.
If Julio was as bad as a person as Falcons fans make him seem, they wouldn't have traded him to where he wanted to be traded to.
Nobody said he was a bad person. The only thing he said was if you had wanted out at the time that you did and they offered you the extension, why take the extension if you wanted out?
If you steal money from somebody, deception. How they making it sound like he stole money and leave? That's a bad person.
Deception, bro.
So he's a bad person then. It's some
no, bruh. Listen. If there's a place where I don't want to be at, I'm not finna take something to keep me there. I'm just gonna go.
I'm taking $60 million.
So basically, you're basically doing what they just said. You're gonna take the money and then do it.
Yes. But that's not taking the money and then I'm taking the money and I'm.
You took the money and deal. That's all that is.
So why not go elsewhere and get your new contract? Why would you want to take the money from me and then want to go somewhere else?
It was evidently some conversations had. Well, Julio didn't think he could win him.
He never answered the phone. They called him.
That's a lot. That's a lot, dog.
Somebody. The story don't add up. The story, the way y'all telling the story, don't add up.
No. But the thing is, you just. But what you just said, if Julio felt like he couldn't win no more, why take the money from a team that you're not going to win and go somewhere and take the money from the team that is going to win and help you accomplish that goal?
You gotta ask Julio that play. I'm not his representative. I
don't know. No. But the thing you said is yes. I'm gonna take the $60 million, then I'm gonna want out afterwards. That's taking money from somebody. So no. Let me ask you a question. So if I ask you to borrow $400 right now, and you give me the $400. And I just say, fuck you, I'm out. Just like that. How do you feel?
I'm going to feel played.
Exactly.
That's what we saying, bro. Hey, man, look. Hey, I'm going to
close. This is the last thing. If you in a legally binding contract with somebody, the Falcons didn't have to trade Julio Jones. The Falcons didn't have to send him where he wanted to go. Something's not right about this story that y'all telling.
I mean, this ain't a story.
Hold on. Let me say this on that part. Because you say the Falcons didn't have to trade him to where he wanted to go. We did. You're right. We didn't have to. But the damn Titans did us a favor by taking his contract. Yeah, we have to pay him this year. But once we play our last and final game of the 2021-2022 season, Julio Quintorris Lopez-Jones no longer we don't owe him nothing.
Y'all think the Titans was the only team that was willing to do that?
You said
so let me ask you another question. So if you paid the man the money and he said he don't want to pay for it, are you gonna pay $66 million for a guy that don't want to play for you and just gonna sit at home?
I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I'm not gonna sit up and act like he stole money from me. He didn't steal money from nobody. Like I don't like that. That's an attack on somebody's character. You can't say he stole that money. He didn't steal that. They agreed to a contract.
He literally did. Like you didn't have to ask for no extension. And your owner gave it to you because he had held you at a high regard. So he gave you the money that you were looking for.
Yeah. So, homie, you technically kind of deflecting there for a second because at the end of the day, you didn't have to accept the extension.
That's the
You didn't. You didn't have to accept the extension.
When did Julio sign his extension?
He signed his extension. What was
last year?
He signed
it? Was like last year.
2019.
I think it was 20.
Yeah,
2019.
Yeah, when Debo got his extension. When he got his extension, when Debo got his extension, so did Julio.
But you have to remember the extent.
After another losing season, you can't change your mind about wanting to be someone. Is that?
But they was losing. But the thing is, they was losing at that time, and especially when you think about this, the extension didn't start until this year.
Exactly.
And then you have to remember too, in order for him to get that extension, Matt Ryan had to take a pay cut for him to get the extension. That's why Matt Ryan making the money he's making now. So if you actually look at it, if it wasn't for Matt Ryan, Julio wouldn't have got that extension because he gave up money for him to get it.
Is it illegal for Julio Jones to not want to play here no more? Is my question. Yes or no?
No, I ain't saying no.
Saying it wasn't, but we saying is, why would you, if you don't want to play here, why did you take the extension? Man, like K-Style said,
so he couldn't
the extension start this year.
From the time he got the extension to the time he requested a trade, he couldn't have changed his mind in that time period.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even think it was a request. I don't even think the trade was a request. It caught everybody on guard. And they just got his ass the fuck up out of here.
The trade was no choice because
trade way before the draft. Like back in February.
No, he never asked for a trade. He just said
he never asked for a trade.
The Falcons just said, "Yeah, he out of there."
That's the report I read. You know, y'all gotta take that over. I'll try to find an article for y'all.
I can pretty much tell you where you got it from because we read all that stuff, but we know the truth. We know the truth.
So I can only tell you what I saw. You feel me?
I got it.
If I've been misled, then I'm sorry.
No, you good. No. And this is why this episode is happening. But I appreciate you for coming on. I wish more people had the balls. Like you got cojones by even coming on and taking the time out your night to come on the show and express yourself. When we have people that be on social media doing what they be doing, and we give you the link to come on the show to speak your piece and debate with us and help us, because like you said, you want to see everything from both sides of the spectrum. We do too. We literally do too. We really want to see it. We want to see it from your side, and we want to give off our opinions and whatnot. Because maybe if we all brainstorm, we could all come to a collective agreement on how we can support this team better than what we do. That's one of the biggest problems that we have. Because a lot of the fan base at this point is damn if you do, damn if you don't. Because we want Matt Ryan gone.
Uh-huh.
That's where the fan base is at. And that what we is, don't get me wrong, we understand Matt Ryan time is near in this for this franchise. But at the end of the day, win, lose, or draw, I'm standing 10 toes down with the Falcons. It is a crying shame that I can hear Falcon fans cheer louder on my TV at away games than they do at home. But then you would say, I want to pay for the product at home because the way the team been losing or this, that, and third. They 5 or 6 within the playoff hunt. Y'all still ain't trying to get loud. But I watched the doggone Jaguars this past Sunday was crunk as I don't know what for a 2-18 heading towards being 2-9. They came out there, they was 100, they were 10 toes down, 110% Duval throughout their stadium.
Swimming in goddamn swimming pools at 6. Swimming in swimming pools at 60-degree weather at a damn stadium.
we can't get that type of support in our home stadium. And that's a problem, dog. We got to start supporting this team, whether you like what's going on or not. Hell, imagine being a Detroit Lions fan watching your team just fuck up decade after decade after decade after decade, but you still giving them your all.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Tez, hey, LT, let me ask you a question on that then. So, do you think the Falcons would be better off if they didn't play in Atlanta no more, since people don't really support the team like that?
Man, don't get me started.
I mean,
but then people be mad. Why they ship the team off? But y'all don't support them anyway.
I mean, we could ship them off to London. It could be the London Falcons.
Exactly. They gonna come and watch every damn game.
And then the city of Atlanta still gonna be paying taxes for a stadium that not gonna be used for a football team no more.
Thank you.
Hey man, hey bro, like you said before, man, we appreciate you coming on. Like, we don't want to make it seem like we picking on people. You brought in here just to like disagree and argue and all that. Like at the end of the day, we just trying to see everybody's standpoint. That's what it's all about.
Oh, for sure, for sure. We had good conversation tonight. We had good conversation tonight, man.
Yes,
hey, bro, you hit on some good points, though.
Yeah,
you hit on some good points.
About it.
You did. You absolutely did. You hit on some good points.
Y'all boys after coming on here and talking to y'all, you know.
Hey man,
I appreciate y'all for having me on.
You know where you can find us. You can find us at any.
Hey, bro. Yeah, listen, man. You welcome back anytime, dog. For real.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I know. I just came on. Like I said, I watched from the beginning, bro. Like I said, you hit on some definite good points. But like they said, the issue is people don't explain it, but they just say it without explanation. And like you said, that's where the discord comes in at. Because all we try to do is figure out stuff.
And just how you asked, you point out, about the, you like you were saying that you hope then, we didn't get off on the wrong foot. Like I said, bro, it's hard for us to make these type of arguments on Twitter when you only got 240 characters to use. It's hard to make these type of points. It's so much that you have to try to explain, and you only can do so much. And then all of us got things going on. We got families, we got jobs, we got this, we got that. So it's hard for you just to be on there and just be going back and forth. So the fact that you took the opportunity and come on the show, I applaud you for that. Because instead of you just sitting behind the keyboard of your phone and just saying, if and I ain't trying to come on, you came on and you expressed yourself. And again, bro, kudos. Because you got more balls than half and I know a good 90% of them people.
Mm-hmm.
We offer numerous occasions for people to come on the show and debate with us. And they and nobody showed.
Hell, I offered 2 people tonight. And they goddamn kept Twitter face.
And they disappeared. So like, bro, like I said,
I appreciate y'all for having me on, for real, man. Much love, much respect to y'all, boys.
Same to you,
man. Man, definitely.
All right, this has been.
You too.
All right, this has been a AFN, and he just came up with the name. I forgot the name of it.
The Lions
debating
the Lions.
We might keep that name. For the most part, I think we're going to keep that name. I like that name. So
Lions.
We're gonna have more guests on the show like him. Like I said, bro, we just want to have a real debate. Like I don't. It ain't fun sitting here talking to people that agree with everything that you say all the time. That shit boring.
Right.
All right. I don't want to do that. I don't like be talking to the same people about the same thing and they agree with everything. I like hearing from different spectrum, different standpoints. So at the end of the day, man, y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Dudes.
Out, yeah.